of forgetting to switch your notifications off or putting your phone on Do Not Disturb. I think I was somewhere in this vicinity talking about projectors. There's my Husqvarna. That's where I was. She's does embroidery and everything. Honestly, I'd hardly ever use her anymore. I need to sell that one. Beautiful machine. It's a designer one. Then I've got two others. I think one of those is a 1000. Yeah, that one's a 1000 special. Can't remember the middle one. And there's a little beautiful vintage Viking, which I'm working on as well. Up there is a Donor Bernina Nova 900. Oh, I love those little machines so much. Some stash that I haven't put away, all the buttons and everything. Going around the corner, some more rolls of fabric, all my accessories, as you might have seen in a previous video. My threads and some accessories are in there. Up here, I've got things like labels, presser feet, tailor's chalk, all sorts of bits and pieces. Got a little so-called organizer. It's such a mess there. Needles. That's how I know what needle is in my machine at the moment, is I have a little pin that goes into the type of needle I'm using. And the total disaster that is my sewing table right now, because all I seem to be doing is working on repairing and restoring old machines. Ugh. Anyway, I should charge the vacuum cleaner. Got some motors out because my what's that, a 730? Yes, the 730 on my bench needs a new motor. I think I'm going to see if one of these will fit in there instead of the one that's in the machine at the moment, which I will try and restore as well. This has also got lots of accessories and parts in. That's mostly parts for sewing machines in there. And then on this shelf is another whole bunch of machines. There's Berninas, there's Husqvarnas, that's another Husqvarna, there's a pedal for one of them. I don't know, these are Berninas, these green ones. All of these mostly covered up are Husqvarnas. There's some Berninas there, and this is just haberdashery. What a mess. What a mess. Oh, and patterns and more dust bunnies than you can shake a stick at. Anyway, let's get back down to here. So these are machines I'm working on. That's a machine that's just been packed up, ready to go. It's actually on my website for sale, that one, as is the machine down there, and a beautiful Burnett overlocker. If you're interested in a machine, I can highly recommend that one. I've restored it, and honestly, it sews beautifully, and I would absolutely keep it if I didn't already have this glorious baby lock overlocker over there. Oh, and there's a cover stitch for sale as well, which I don't use enough to keep. On my workbench today, lots of tools, lots of parts. I do wonder sometimes how I keep track of what's going on here. This is a Bernina 530 dash. No, this is not a dash 2. This is just a 530. That's a record. And this is a Bernina 530 dash 2 record. Now, oh, this is the one. You'll see pictures on my Facebook page of the state she was in. She is a donor machine. Her name is Bailey, and thanks to her, I have got some spare parts to sell, and I have rewired the motor, fixed all the broken wires, and she's working brilliantly. The motor, machine, not so sure, but the parts is really all I need from her anyway. And thanks to her, I've got a belt, which I'm putting onto this 530, which is for my collection. And then this machine is ready to go into use. Oh, she's just lovely. I absolutely adore this machine. She's in such beautiful condition. Her case is down there on the floor with all its accessories in it. And there's her lid, her side panel, her motor cover, and her hand wheel. And the screws for her hand wheel. and all the tools I use. This little machine, this is Babette. Now, Babette is a 730. She has been on my workbench for weeks. I can't tell you how much work she's been. The state she was in. Granted, she was not as bad as Bailey over here, but she was still in a shocking condition. And I can't wait to get her cleaned up and working because I have not got another machine like this. So that's super exciting. The motor doesn't work, so I'm going to try and swap that out and get that up and running. I have got the whole machine working though. Basically, I haven't done too much. I haven't cleaned her, haven't oiled her completely, and I haven't serviced her completely. I knew straight away there was something wrong and the motor needed work. I think one of the big problems with this age machine is that people never oiled them and they put them away. If the person died or gifted it to somebody else in later years, that person never sewed. They have no idea what to do with these machines, and they put them in inappropriate storage spaces like a loft where the temperature goes up and down so drastically. And you'd know that if you'd ever been in your loft in summer and in winter. Try it someday, and that'll give you a clue as to how bad it is for your machine. But worse than that is the garage. They get dumped on the floor where they're prone to rising damp, dust, insects, mice. Seriously, the stuff that you get out of these machines. But the problem in there is just as bad with the cold, not so much the heat, but the damp. Big, big problem. So a lot of these machines have sections that are rusted on them and they need to be dealt with. I mean, look at this one. This is hers. This is snapped off the spool. That's the spool holder for the bobbin winder. Oh, so sad. Anyway, I can replace that because I do have a spare now. What else? And on the floor, oh my word, what confusion. Look, foot pedal, this is for Bobette. Oh, she's so beautiful. Honestly, this machine came to me practically brand new. She's a 600. Now, if you wanted to get a Bernina in the 1950s and 60s and you were short of money or didn't have enough money to buy the best and the biggest, this would have been the little machine you probably went with because she literally only does straight stitch and zigzag. And that's it. You set it like that. That's wide. That's narrow. And that's all you got. Okay. But what a perfect, beautiful stitch she sews. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable. So she's in rotation at the moment. There's all her accessories. What a little beauty. Anyway, that's her pedal over there. That's the pedal for the 730. That's the pedal for... That's the pedal for... Bailey. And how do I know? Well, no, I don't know because I thought that was her foot pedal and it isn't. So this is Bailey's foot pedal, and I know that because look at the state of it. I've wiped it already. That's Bailey's. That is for the 750. And this is for the other 530. Interestingly, this little 530 here is, according to the serial number, built in January 1957. She's quite a bit older than me. And she is built in 1960. So she's 2 years younger than me. And between these machines, there's not many years, but honestly, everything's different. The foot pedals are different. The capacitors are different. The motors are different. The belts are different. I think maybe, the belt drives are different. There's so many things about these machines that change from one minute to the next. Maybe in that era, I mean, in the UK especially, and I'm sure in Europe and places like Germany and Switzerland, the war wasn't that far away in the past, and parts might not have been that easily available, or the manufacturing might not yet have been back up to full speed. So they probably used what stock they had of this one capacitor, and then the guy said, sorry, I haven't got stock, but I'll make you some more, but they'll look a little different. Who knows? The point is, they are so different. You can't assume one thing to the other. This bag belongs to the 730. Look at the state of the side panel. This machine's definitely seen somewhere in a garage. Same as Bailey. Bailey came out of a barn. Yeah. And we're not talking about a clean barn, peeps. I found a postage stamp inside the mechanism. I found a match. You don't believe me? There they are. And I have more dirt than I've seen on any other machine I've ever worked on. What a mess. In fact, so bad that we threw the case away. So her case would have been identical to this. And she's a machine that was reasonably well looked after. Who knows where it was stored? I'm going to try and restore this case because generally it's not too bad, but it's filthy. All the stitching along this edging needs to be redone. Whether I find somebody to stitch that for me or I just hand stitch it will depend. But she's got all of her accessories still, including her accessory box. Honestly, don't. Oh, look at the state. Now, considering she wasn't as bad as Bailey, I've now washed Bailey's accessory box. Sorry, Bailey, you've got dust on you since I washed you. That's because I'm cleaning other things. So there you go. That's what this one will look like eventually. Sadly, there's a little... This Bakelite is very fragile after all these years. But other than that chip, this one is in very good condition, but it's got no accessories in it whatsoever. Whereas this one does some lovely thread from probably the 1950s. She still has her different feet in here, some bobbins. This is a block for your buttonhole chisel. So you would put this under your shirt and you would have made your buttonhole already. And to cut the buttonhole open, not using scissors and quick unpicks is not the best way. Chisels are definitely the best way. You place it over the little block and then you push through with the chisel and it slits your buttonhole open. So there's its little darning / embroidery hoop. It's going to fall over. And there's some more feet and some more bobbins. So she hasn't been washed yet. What I'll do is, as soon as she's up and running today, that'll be the last thing I do, will be to wash everything, clean up all the accessories, and then put it into sewing rotation. I like to use a machine for a few projects before I put them away. And then I put them in rotation. Oh, her name is Bonita, by the way. What else? I think that's it. I'm exhausted now. Oh, let me just show you. Reminder, that's Bonita's cover. And this here is Bobette. This is Bobette's cover. Bobette is this beauty over here, this little 600 on my sheet. Look at her cover. When I said she was practically brand new, I meant it. Apart from, I could, if I wanted to, just buff these catches. That is the only thing wrong with her. And I mean, you never get these cases in such pristine condition. Just look at it. The pocket isn't even torn. Every one of them, the pocket is torn. It's got all these little things in here. It's got some receipts. It's got its book. It's manual, some Bernina sewing machine needles. Never been opened, I would imagine, because generally they leak everywhere, these little oil pots. Anyway, I don't use that. I've got some brand new oil. And the card, this is like a promotional card. One of these mountains here is Piz Bernina, which is, I'm assuming that one, which is named, the company is named after. So her foot pedal would go in here, her extension table goes in there. But as you can see, I try and label all of my machines as they come in. They get a tag, and all the parts as well get their name on it. Because what happens is I land up with 4 feet, presser feet, not presser feet, pedals for the same brand, different models. And I'm like, which one goes with which? So I will write their names on them to make sure I know. That's me for today. I'm done in. I'm going to have to sit for a bit, and then I will get to putting the belt onto Bonita. So she's got her new belt, and I can test her, get her up and running. And then I'll use Barbette over there for a project, and then this lovely little girl will go into rotation and get some sewing work done. So if you need a sewing machine, contact me. If I haven't got one, I can probably find one. I can restore it for you. I am not a professional, but I am a very competent hobbyist, and I am very careful and loving of all of these machines, and I can probably get you a machine. And what you get for your money with a vintage machine is 100 times better than you'll get with a modern machine. I can promise you that much. And I've worked on tons of modern machines. It's not because I'm just anti them, but they are not made to the same standard that these old machines are made to. And you might not be able to afford a new Bernina today, but if you can buy a vintage one, you'll be much better off. So that's me. I'm signing off. Visit me at heskethemporium.com, and I'm going to have parts for the machines on there as well. So have a lovely day in this gorgeous British sunshine where our bees are flying like crazy, and I have a feeling they're going to swarm any day now. And I hope they don't swarm into the neighbour's yard again. That'll be the 4th time. Anyway, have a fab day, everybody. God bless. Bye.